10-meter-long sea creature that lived 250 million years ago. The marine reptile, or sea dragon, is longer than a double-decker bus.
Dragons are one of the more fantastic creatures to study in mythology and folklore and legends.
They're all typically portrayed as being reptilian in nature, having scales and claws, the ability to breathe fire.
Is it possible that the many dragons described in legends throughout the world weren't just fictional, but were actually real?
Dinosaurs coming back to life, Bigfoots roaming around the wild, or even dragons existing in our world. All of this sounded like a dream until they were all filmed on cameras. And no one was ready to believe it. Hikers and explorers often come across different kinds of wild animals. But one particular family had a rather unique experience on their trip when this creature appeared from the trees. Even the eyewitnesses could not believe what they were looking at. Those giant scales and everything about this animal could only make them think of one thing: dinosaurs. Now, there is a possibility that this video was manipulated. But so far, no one has been able to prove it right or wrong, leaving this encounter as a mystery. Sunbathing. Hiking through the woods got a lot more exciting when this man came across bizarre creatures sunbathing in the remote area. Surprisingly, these creatures looked eerily like velociraptors and seemed to be engaged in a brawl. The man made the right decision and ran from the scene for his life. But he could never recover from what he had seen there. There is a possibility that he had manipulated the video for a bunch of views. But on the flip side, who knows what's possible in our insane world? Science experiment. Remember all those rumors about scientists trying to bring dinosaurs back to life? Well, looks like they succeeded in those missions. This video spread like wildfire among the masses, and everyone was shocked to actually see them openly admit to the rumors. The scientist was proudly holding a dinosaur-like creature in his hands, and even showed it off to the camera as if celebrating a victory. Now, there are speculations about the authenticity of this video, but there are some of us who believe that in no time, we will be having these majestic creatures roaming among us. Return of Dinosaur. According to science, dinosaurs went extinct millions of years ago, but this video implies something else. A driver was shocked to their core to see a heavy vehicle carrying this giant dinosaur right in front of them. And this is clearly not something you see on your average day. After this video went viral, several theories popped up from the online world. Some suggested that this was a hyper-realistic model getting transported for display or for use in a set, while others were a lot more wild. These pointed to the possibility of scientists finally succeeded in bringing the exotic species back to life. Taken over. Dinosaurs roaming on the roads? This is what my dreams look like these days. But some travelers claim to witness the extinct animals right in front of them. They even shared this video, which made it hard to believe how this could be happening in real life. Although it looks hyper-realistic, there are still speculations about the encounter. Obviously, it's hard to accept these animals roaming around us, so many viewers started pointing to the possibility that the video was manipulated. But what do you think it was? Could they really be back from extinction? Hot days. A dinosaur resting at the pool? I guess it is really getting hot these days, isn't it? All these people were amazed to have such a close encounter with one. They all took their cameras out and started recording the whole ordeal in disbelief. While it may look like the perfect scene from a fictional movie, the eyewitnesses and many online viewers back the idea that this was an actual sighting. The creature might be created for entertainment purposes, but I must say, whoever designed it did a pretty good job. Handling a Triceratops. This video from Indonesia garnered quite some attention online, and it had everyone wondering how these majestic creatures were filmed, getting handled by a bunch of people? The creature was so strong that it was getting hard for all these people to get in under control, even with all their strength. Dinosaurs have been extinct for millions of years, so the video even made people speculate that the government had finally succeeded in bringing them back through advanced genetic technology. But it could also be a clever work of editing. I really hope it's the second one. I'm not ready for Jurassic World in real life. Lifelike dragon.
What the heck is this?
Fossils of several animals and dinosaurs have been evacuated from different parts of the world, but a team managed to find a lifelike dragon that had the most terrifying features. Now, this dragon still had skin and tissue intact, meaning that it had passed away only recently. Logically, that could not be possible, right? This is exactly why all these scientists had gathered around to get some samples for studying and make sure they had identified the creature properly. Even after investigations, no results were revealed to the public, further deepening the mystery related to the encounter. Chased by dinosaur. A hiker went out in the wild for an adventurous day, but things got a little out of hand for him when he got chased away by a giant dinosaur. The man recorded the whole scene in which he was running from this prehistoric animal. Luckily, he hid behind a giant rock on time, and the dinosaur left the place. He uploaded his encounter with a warning about these giants coming back in our world. I'm pretty sure he was not expecting a hike like this one, but it has sparked debates about the government's fishy activities, and some even accusing the hiker for manipulating the video. Living in mountains. Here's something that might convince you about the existence of dragons. A group of travelers was exploring this amazing scenery when they noticed something flying in the air. At first, they thought it could be a giant bird, but once they saw its features in detail, they realized this was something completely different. It almost looked like a real-life dragon. The way it flapped its wings in the air and was moving through the area had everyone worried for themselves. Could these be the result of some shady science experiment? Well, no one knows what happens behind the closed doors. Sasquatch. A video surfaced on the internet in 2022 from Ohio, and the person recording the whole ordeal insisted that he had been facing Bigfoot in the area for a long time. This was his evidence to prove his point. The man managed to capture a tall, dark entity effortlessly roaming through the forest like it owned the place. According to him, this creature had been living in the area for centuries, and judging by the stature of it, many were even convinced that he had real proof of Bigfoot's existence in the woods. Do you believe in these elusive creatures? Bizarre pet. The wealthy people are known for owning exotic pets, but a Saudi prince went an extra mile when he was rumored to have a griffin as his pet. Yes, the mythical creature we've seen in the fictional movies. Although these were just rumors, the actual video of this creature in his house got leaked to the audience, and they were all shocked to see this thing actually alive and moving. I know the video has low quality, yet many still believe that there was a chance that this was an actual griffin captured by the man. Bigfoot sighting. Some hunters were searching the woods for a nice hunt when they came across a giant shelter made in a sophisticated manner. Out of curiosity, they installed a trail camera to capture the owner of the house. Instead of some typical animal, they recorded this video of a giant creature hiding behind the trees. They believe that this was the perfect video evidence of a Bigfoot present in the forest and that it was staying hidden from the rest of the world. Judging by how it was effortlessly moving, a whole tree and its towering height, many viewers agree with the hunters on this being the evidence for Bigfoot. But there are some who disagree with such claims. Dragon baby. Some tourists were thrilled to visit a local's house and find out that he had found these dragon eggs during his tour in the wild. And these even hatched out with baby dragons. Now, I know these are supposed to be mythical creatures and not exist in reality, but how does this man have these babies on display in a glass box? Well, while many were fascinated by this guy's collection, some were skeptical if these were even true or not. They do look real, but the truth behind this thing is still a mystery. Running in woods. Trail cameras often capture some impressive footage, but for one hunter, things got a bit out of this world when his device detected movement and then captured this odd creature running all over the area. I don't know about you, but that clearly looks like a velociraptor to me. Just look at it. While there's a lot we don't know about our world, these things are getting a lot harder to explain. Could these species really be back to life? What do you think of all those conspiracy theories out there? Running around. Looking at this video messed with the mind of many viewers. At first glance, it might look like these were baby dragons enjoying their time in the open area. But there's a flip side to this video as well. If you look closely, this was actually a video of coyotes running around, and it was played in reverse. I guess we don't have to worry about a real-life Jurassic World anytime soon. Odd catch. After facing problems with raccoons, a hunter had placed this trap in his backyard, hoping to catch the culprit. But instead, he got this odd creature. Surprisingly, it looked like a dinosaur. This was not something one catches on a normal day, was it? Well, even the man who captured this thing was confused, and he shared it online to get some answers. Instead, he got a bunch of speculation, from people calling it a clever edit to even governments creating dinosaurs from the DNA. But the reality was never revealed, resulting in a mixed reviews of people online. Bigfoot jungles. A hiker visited a river in Payson Canyon, Utah, when he heard something in the trees. He was shocked to find this giant creature moving among the trees. Judging by the distance between them and the height of these towering trees, this thing had to be massive. It was covered in black fur and tried staying as elusive as possible. Sounds familiar? Well, all these characteristics made him wonder if he really was in the presence of a Bigfoot. Once the video was shared online, it got spread like wildfire, with many agreeing to the point that this was indeed a Bigfoot. But the reality was never confirmed, leaving this as a mysterious encounter with an alleged Bigfoot. Strolling the city. In 2015, locals in London felt like they were living a dream when they witnessed a 40-foot-long dinosaur being carried on a truck through the streets. The giant T-Rex was covered in a white sheet, and it was being transported like it was no big deal. According to the onlookers who even filmed the whole scene, this thing seemed to be quite legit and real. The details on this creature were crafted in a good manner as well. But here's the thing, there is a strong possibility that it was being transported to be set in an amusement park for display. But since the officials were quiet during all the rumors, nothing has been confirmed yet. Dragon form. Okay, let's change the perspective here. What if dragons exist in our world, but in a very different way than we've imagined them to be? Video of this bizarre creature surfaced on the internet, and viewers started calling it real-life light fury. I mean, the resemblance is there, but sorry to break it down to you, but this was a rare creature living in the dark caves. It was named Prometheus, and it is a kind of a salamander. These animals live only in water and are known to stay in the dark caves for their entire lives. I don't know about you, but I definitely want one as a pet. Unexpected find. A team of scientists had fixed a surveillance camera in the ocean to study the underwater world. In addition to the typical fish species in the water, they got to film something truly otherworldly. At first, they thought this was just a normal whale moving through the water. But soon, the giant scales on its back were also revealed, leaving them all shocked to the core. The video left them wondering if it could be an ancient dinosaur, which had been extinct for hundreds of millions of years. Videos like these show how much we don't know of our ocean's depths. Baby dragon. Now, that looks like the cutest creature I've seen so far, but those features surprisingly resemble a dinosaur a lot more than it should. I know you might say I'm crazy for thinking this way, but who knows if there's a possibility of them coming back to Earth? Well, if they look like this, I will have no problem living with dinosaurs. And people even start having one as a pet. Murky depths. The legend of Loch Ness Monster has messed with our minds for decades. And while there are several debates on their existence, here's footage that might make you consider they actually exist. Some drone operators were filming the marshes when they captured this giant figure moving under the surface of a river. And surprisingly, it resembled the Loch Ness to a great extent. I know the video quality is a bit low, but it still made me wonder what could be living in the unknown areas of our planet. And who knows if the Loch Ness was actually hiding in plain sight all this time. Ready to fly. One calm evening, some locals had stepped out to get fresh air and were stunned to find this thing sitting on top of a pole right before their eyes. The creature had giant wings that it was flapping, and it almost felt like it would start flying at any moment. Its haunting presence caught the attention of everyone on site. The creature eventually flew away, leaving everyone with dozens of questions and a few answers. Could it really be the legendary dragons that were mentioned in several ancient civilizations? Or just an edit? You decide. Broad daylight. A traveler was filming all the surroundings of the area he had visited, and while it looked like normal trees, he unexpectedly captured something in broad daylight. This thing dashed among the trails, and although the video quality is low, it was enough to see that the creature here eerily resembled a dinosaur. Even the man on site did not believe what he had caught on his camera. Although there are conflicting beliefs regarding its authenticity, it's still hard to deny that the creature in the video vividly looked like a velociraptor. Ocean dragon. I'm not sure what exactly that is, but honestly, I don't even want to know. Some fishermen were standing by the waves when they noticed this thing floating right up to them. It didn't seem to have a face and was still creeping everyone out. Some eyewitnesses called it an alien, while others were sure that this was a juvenile ocean dragon. So far, no one has come up with a solid answer. If you know anything, mention it in the comments below. creepy sighting. This looks exactly like my nightmares. A video showing something dashing through the bushes caught the attention of a number of viewers. Many pointed out that these creatures oddly resembled dinosaurs. Yes, you heard that right. Although I really don't want these claims to be true, there's no denying the fact that the animals running here do look like velociraptors. The dark area and blurry video have made everyone skeptical about its authenticity, but no proper proof has come forward regarding the video. Bizarre Dino. A leaked video from 2017 had people doubting what they knew of the world, as it showed this mysterious creature roaming in the forest of Congo, Africa. Its giant eyes and scaly skin were enough to leave viewers guessing on what they were looking at. Different speculations came forward after this video, from undiscovered species existing in the wild to it being a mere tortoise who was curious and wanted to check the camera. Yet the most bizarre conspiracy theory stated that the dinosaurs were still roaming on Earth, and their extinction had just been reversed. What do you think it was? Running in backyard. Surveillance camera of a house in Florida captured this odd creature dashing through the backyard and had the homeowners worried for something far more than just a theft. If you look at it closely, it almost seemed like a baby dinosaur was running around the area, and it had almost everyone questioning what was going on in our world. Several theories about the origin of this video were presented by viewers. One stating that this could be a dog with a cone on its head and a leash dragging down. I know it sounds too specific, but it is more believable than a baby dinosaur to me. Monster of Deep. This video from the deep added to the mystery and fear of ocean depths for every viewer. The camera captured this odd and bizarre thing existing in the darkness, and it even stared at the camera for as long as it was in the water. Luckily, it didn't move around or charge, but it left viewers with an eerie feeling. Experts tried debunking it by calling it a pile of trash or mass, but even they were not sure what it was, so the reality of this creature is still unknown. Cave monsters. A group of divers ventured in an off-limits area and were stunned to come across these creatures living in the cave systems. They had long red hair and small heights. Although both had quite a close encounter with them, they still could not determine what they were. Here, online viewers came in with some theories. According to them, these were actually people dressed in suits, but the eyewitnesses insisted that they were in the presence of something otherworldly. The debate is still on, with no definitive results on the way.
Monya, I got this for you. So we're gonna move over there.
Woolly mammoth.
But others claim it could be evidence that woolly mammoths are still alive. All right, check out the video. It was obtained by the Sun newspaper.
In March 1943, a German military photographer managed to capture what appears to be a woolly mammoth. The huge size, long tusks, and its overall body had everyone wondering if these majestic creatures had actually come back to life. Although the video was not very clear, it was enough to get the idea that this thing was somehow a woolly mammoth roaming in the area. I know it sounds impossible to have these mammals in 1943, but still, it is one of the best explanations for this video so far. Weird ostrich. It might look like a super blurry video of an ostrich to you, but wait, take a closer look. This is something far more interesting. The video was captured in Russia by KGB headquarters around 30 years ago, and that is an alleged Nequeb ossasaurus. These dinosaur species were the closest to modern-day ostriches and have been extinct for millions of years. The video sparked quite some conspiracy theories about the Russian government carrying out secret experiments to bring the dinosaurs back and succeeding at it. But these were, after all, just theories. This video is still an unsolved puzzle for us all. Snake with legs.
one's tiny.
We all know that snakes used to have legs in the past, and even though they now completely lost it, here is one that decided to keep the legs for a better walk. Some locals were amazed to find a snake with 4 legs, and even had a huge audience that wished to witness this miracle firsthand. Now, these people claimed it to be a snake with legs. I think it could be a huge salamander wandering around in the wild. What do you think? Chupacabra. Locals in a remote village were shocked to catch this creature that eerily resembled the mythical chupacabra. The animal had a hairless body, long claws, and teeth sharp enough to bite on a metal cage. The locals of the area had been losing their cattle out of nowhere, and they believed that this was the culprit behind it. Chupacabras are known to go for livestock, particularly goats, for their meal. So the whole area was convinced they had caught a real chupacabra from the wild. Forest spirit. Seems like a normal hike through the forest, right? Well, wait for the forest spirit to reveal itself. This hiker was roaming through the dense forest when he felt like he was being watched by someone. At one point, the culprit revealed itself as this odd creature appeared from the trees, and it had a creepy head, gray-colored skin, and the most vague expressions on its face. Well, that clearly was no normal animal. The man who faced this thing just ran away as soon as he noticed this thing, and he argued that he had come face to face with a forest spirit. Haunted sewers. I know the sewers have all sorts of gooey stuff, but this thing is on another level. Some local workers were called to open up a clogged sewage system, and when they got this thing out, even they were not sure what they were looking at. It almost looked like a giant monster that had been living in the darkness all this time. Some said that this thing looked like an oarfish, but an oarfish in there? These are oceanic species living hundreds of meters down. So finding something like this in the sewers was clearly out of the blue. Dobby on vacation. Remember how much Dobby used to work in Harry Potter? Looks like he has finally taken a vacation. Some people were enjoying their time at the pool when this odd thing caught their eye. It almost felt like it was watching over all of them, making sure everything was going okay. The creepy thing was that it had a strange resemblance to Dobby. While some guessed it to be a cat, many just couldn't make sense of this odd sighting. Whatever the case was, it gave all these people a pool day to remember. Caught red-handed. A farmer in Ukraine managed to capture this creepy-looking creature, and he believed this was a chupacabra. The long, sharp teeth, hairless body, and pointy ears were enough to convince the people that this farmer was indeed telling the truth. All the others in the area had been losing their cattle at rapid rates and were relieved to find out that the culprit was finally caught. On the other hand, skeptics believed that they had mistaken its identity and misjudged it due to the questionable conditions. Real-life unicorn. In 2016, a YouTuber uploaded this footage of a majestic creature with a horn on its head, and it gave a new hope to fairy tale lovers that unicorns existed in real life. Although the video quality was a bit low, it still managed to capture the horn and the impressive stature of this being. Sounds like great evidence of unicorns, right? Well, many had a different perspective here. According to them, the blurry nature of this video made it look like a horse had a horn on its head. But who knows when our imagination comes true in the wild. Fairy in action. In 2017, some homeowners shared this footage captured by their security camera, and it had everyone on the edge. This thing flew right across the frame, and it clearly seemed to have wings and was glowing as bright as day. Now, of course, some people tried to debunk it by calling it some sort of insect, but there were skeptics trying to prove it was a fairy. With such an ambiguous shape like that, it was hard for me to say what exactly it was. But I can't really pinpoint an insect either. If you know anything about it, share in the comments below. Glowing mystery. This explorer managed to find a glowing insect during their trip, and it was unlike anything they had seen before. I mean, we've all seen and heard of exotic colored insects, but a glow in the dark mystery was certainly new for them, as they are not commonly found and are more like glowworm beetles than any caterpillar. Mythical forest. A traveler claimed that he had captured a real-life goblin on his camera and even shared a video to prove it. It showed a short-heighted man carrying some sort of logs on his back and roaming in the jungle. It was getting hard to believe that things like this were actually existing on our planet. How many viewers provided different answers for this encounter? From a clever editing technique to the presence of a whole hidden world right before our eyes. What do you believe in? Demon goat. Looks like this goat was possessed by the demon itself. I can't even imagine coming face to face with a goat like this. But don't worry, this is actually what an ordinary Damascus goat looks like. Despite their unusual looks, these goats are highly valuable due to their high milk yield, and are even specifically bred for these purposes. So no need to be worried if you ever come across a demon-faced goat. It's time for today's open discussion. This video was filmed in China, and it had everyone wondering whether the mythological stories from ancient times had some truth to them. It showed a tiny dragon moving through the water, like it was his everyday routine. Surprisingly, the video quality here is super clear, unlike the ones that typically surface on the internet. Well, this could be either a well-crafted edit, or the prestigious dragon species had actually come down to Earth to spread wisdom and goodness. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.